Coach Miller is going to open. And it's open. Well, first I'd like to congratulate Oregon State. Craig Robinson's just done an amazing job with their program, and you look at the profile they have right now and the players they have returning a year from now. He's really doing a great job for himself and his program, and also our conference. So we knew today's game was going to be very challenging and difficult because they are so long and athletic. They score the ball very easily. They force turnovers. They're great at getting second shots, and those are all areas right now that are a concern for us. But I give our guys credit. Sometimes as a coach, you have a feel that your guys have been there before, and it's somewhat understated how many postseason games we played a year ago. And Brendan and Kyle's case, as freshmen, they experienced a thrilling tournament run as well in the NCAA tournament. So, when you're at halftime, when you're before the game, and you're playing these elimination games, it certainly helps to have a team or individual players that have done that, been there before. And that's where Nick comes in. I thought that yesterday he did a lot of things that don't show up on the stat sheet that make you win. And I loved how he responded after the Arizona State game, leading to yesterday's game. But, today to me was one of the best games that he's played at Arizona. And he's had bigger games, scoring, but he did so many valuable things, and he's getting better on defense. And to me, he almost helped the guys who've been doing it. Jesse and Solomon have been doing it. Brendan and Kyle have been doing it. But we really had Nick today, and I give him and really our whole team a lot of credit. Second half, we just got back to doing the things that made us a good team. Hard defense, unselfish on offense. And I thought the first 4 minutes of the second half changed the game.
Hi, Coach. Gary Randazzo with Wildcat Sports Report. During the road trip to UCLA and USC, after the game, you talked about not only the importance of playing with intensity, but also with purpose. In your opinion, how much of a factor were those two intangibles in today's second half turnaround?
I mean, they were very, very important. Anytime that you can hold Oregon State to 61 points, keep in mind how many points they've averaged through 18, 19 games in our conference. Shooting 37%, only 15 free throw attempts. You look at the rebounding, 36 to 34. It takes a lot of heart, effort, intensity, togetherness to do that. And then on offense, we really shared the ball. Kyle, 22 points. He made big shots, though. It wasn't just an easy 22. He made several plays when they counted the most. He made a lot of plays at the end of the clock, and he's really been doing that. And he had a great game here today. But it's always good when you're down at halftime to respond the way we did in the second half. It makes you feel good because you have belief in what we're doing. You have guys that don't get down on each other, and it would have been easy for us at halftime just to say it doesn't feel right. But we did just the opposite, and anytime you have seniors and older players playing like we have, I think guys like Nick, they follow and become a part of it. And that 4 or 8 minutes in the second half was some of the best basketball we've played this year that got us that lead.
This team has not been defined by a real go-to guy like a Derek Willie was last season. To get this far, a lot of teams usually have to have that. How do you think you guys have gotten here without it?
Well, we've become a team of great balance. Certainly, Kyle deserves a lot of credit because anytime you're on the all-defensive team in the Pac-12 and then, our first-team all-conference player, and you look at how he's playing, in a sense, he's kind of our go-to guy right now. But Jesse Perry and Solomon Hill, yesterday were a part of that. So you have really good chemistry and balance with the players that are playing. I mentioned Nick's contributions here today, and again, with Nick, it's not what shows up in the stat sheet. It's just he's a playmaker. Kyle and Brendan can both tell you, as freshmen, first-year players, it's difficult to learn more than one position. And he's always been that constant for us that's had that responsibility of learning both the one and the two. And the way we've played in February and March, Nick's had a lot to do with that in terms of the things that he's learning how to do as a player here.
Stanley Capobianco, Tucson citizen. Nick, I can only assume that when you came to Arizona, that it was to build on the great legacy. Now being in the seventh final round in tournament history, and being the only conference team to have 20 wins in the tournament record, is this what you had in mind in building that legacy?
I mean, definitely wanted to come here and win. We had a little ups and downs during the season, but I mean that's just natural. We're just trying to get to the tournament, and that's what I've been dreaming of, and we got one game left.
Sean, I was just wondering if you could elaborate a little bit on the early second half. Was there anything more to it than just defense and effort?
Well, if you watch us closely, like a lot of you do, when we're at our best is when we can create transition opportunities off of our defense. We call it defense to offense, and it's fast. It's creating open three-point shots for Brendan, creating opportunities for Kyle, sharing the ball, really trying to get easy shots, easy threes, or at the rim before the defense is set up. And to do that, you have to get stops and make big plays on defense. And our defense set the tone for those transition opportunities. And then you have to make the shot you shoot, which we did. And, 9 for 18 from three is terrific, especially in a game like today.
Coach, George Severikis, KVOA in Tucson. Kyle, Jesse, Solomon, they combined for 50 points. Can you talk about their impact so far this Pac-12 tournament run?
Well, I think I called the three of those guys the heart and soul of our team yesterday, and they really are. When you talk about a go-to guy, it's those three, Solomon, Jesse, and Kyle, that really have been the most consistent players on our team. They carry us. To me, they're the most respected players on our team because of their experience. And right now, we're really relying on them. At a time like our halftime today, you're relying on those three guys to come out and set the tone, to not think that we're not going to win, but just get right back into what we need to do to win. And but they're good on the court, they're good off the court, and I think I've said this. Brendan, the role that he's been catapulted into, it's one thing to have more of an opportunity. It's a much different thing to seize that opportunity. And he's almost like a sniper for us. I mean, when he gets that open look, he changes the game. And I know the other coach is constantly worried about where he is. And he had a couple big shots in that stretch at the beginning of the second half.
Beth Harris, AP. Kyle, can you just describe what's really driving you and Jesse and Solomon, as you guys wind down your careers and what you're trying to accomplish here?
I think, just with us, especially guys like me and Jess, just being older, this is our last go-around. And, we just want to win as many games as we can and kind of just take this journey as far as we can go. And I think, we're at a great spot as a team, and, we're really coming together. And, behind Coach, I think, we can keep this run going.
Sean, you get an explanation for what Solomon said? And what do you make of that?
I think Solomon erred in what he said. He reacted like a lot of young people do to an emotional point in the game. But, I've talked to Solomon. He's, you can't be an all-conference player and as important to our team as he is, and all of a sudden lose track that you have 4 fouls or say something unnecessary to the official. But he learned from it, and I think he's apologized to the official and felt bad. But, again, when incidents like that happen, you have two choices. And I thought Angelo Chol did a great job. Angelo playing 17 minutes. These guys will tell you there's not a harder worker in the country than Angelo. I mean, he's one of the few kids that I've seen that physically has gained strength and weight during a college basketball season, and it's all hard work. And I think we all love to see him do well because he deserves it. He really does. But he had some big rebounds, 4, some shot blocks, 3 in 17 minutes, and it was good to give him that time on the court. He made us bigger and did an excellent job. Yeah, I mean, in a funny way, Solomon's probably more fresher than he is than he would have been, but that's a bad reason to be fresh. I don't think we want that.
So actually, following up on that question, it's Bruce Pasco again from the Daily Star. Being as you are,
Where are you from?
I was told to introduce myself. Sorry. Being as you are a little short-handed, How do you handle tomorrow? Do you change your routine, or you figure adrenaline will carry over, or how's it going?
No, I mean, these guys are in great physical shape. You know, part of what we try to pride ourselves in as a program, and not that we're any better than anybody else, but we have an incredible strength and conditioning program. These guys have lifted weights religiously since October. We've not missed. They take care of themselves. If you look at, you know, them physically right now, I mean, there was a time not too long ago, Nick in particular, he'd play 3 games in one day in the summer. And 3 games in 3 days with proper rest, as hard as we've worked from early October, I think that they're going to be fine. And the other team will have the same dilemma or same part. That's what makes playing in a conference tournament so fun, so special. That it's just resiliency. It's individual players making big plays, and many times it's just that team that wants it more that seems to be there. And I hope we're that team.
This question's for everyone. This sounds like a silly stat, but you guys are 14-0 this season when leading at the 10-minute mark in the first half. Could you explain why getting on such a lead like that is such a very big importance to winning the game?
You know, that's something we've worked on probably since August. And right around that 10-minute mark, I don't know. I mean, I would say this, we've gotten off to a lot of slow starts. I mean, we really have. And maybe that's the reason. You know, I can remember San Diego State, we fought back. That was a tough loss for us, but I think we were down 24-3 or something like that at home. And we've had our times where we've dug ourselves a hole. So when we don't dig ourselves a hole, we probably, like a lot of teams, respond better.
I like that. Thank you.